Hi, you're on the Alice Reddit Stories channel. Subscribe to my channel as well as my Facebook page. There we can chat. The link is in the description of the video. Thank you. Enjoy watching. Story 1. OOP made a stupid joke to her husband and he stormed off. But there's more to it than it seems at first. Hey Reddit. I'm an Instagram snooper, so this is my first time here. I honestly never expected to post here because my husband, 30M, and I, 27F, have a great relationship. Of course I can't say we haven't had our occasional bumps, but it's honestly a dream come true all the way through. Our wedding was April 2021 and we both cried like babies that day, and since then the sailing has been smoother than soap. This afternoon, me and him came home after a little lunch outing with our newly engaged friends Kai and Marie. It went great but was like just another outing, nothing special, though we got some bomb pasta back home which I'm currently shoveling into my gob since it's too chilly for ice cream. I went in after him, finished my shower and put some lotion on my palm. I accidentally squeezed too much and dabbed some of it away. After I rubbed it on my face I still had some of the leftover on my finger and I did exactly what any perfectly sane person would do. On my thumb, I whipped up a little smiley face and some spiky hair to create Lotion Man. I came out of the bathroom, giggling about it, and said something along the lines of "Hey, look, it's Lotion Man." He didn't really react, he just looked at my hand and blinked at me. I honestly was just goofing around and started making a silly voice and saying some random shit sprinkled with some inside jokes. I was blabbing for about a minute before he just up and left. I was of course completely oblivious as he grabbed some of his shit and I just was smiling and asking where he was going in kind of a playful way. He has a huge truck and we'd just returned from a trip so he has enough stuff to last him weeks, so it didn't really dawn on me that he was leaving until he drove away. I honestly feel like Boo Boo the fool for making such a stupid joke and then letting him leave just like that. Texted him a few times and he's just said that he's thinking about things and that he's at his brother Tyler's place. I've been texting him non-stop, but he hasn't been responding or even reading any of it. He also sleeps really early so I doubt I can get in contact with him anytime soon. His brother isn't responsive either so I'm just leaving my phone on the nightstand and holding my breath. I don't think it's really dawned on me yet. I stared blankly at the door for like 10 minutes before I got off my ass and actually tried contacting him. I've been with this man for years and I'm always cracking cheesy jokes. I feel stupid and like shit for making Lotion Man and continuing after no response instead of just shutting up and accepting that I'm unfunny at the same time I'm just confused. He's never been at this point even in our rougher patches. The worst we've done is just take breaks from sex or just talk to one another a little less. Wasn't planning on getting into my sex life, but honestly I'm just rambling at this point. I'm all for giving him space, but I can't say I'm not hurt he's just leaving. And the process of divorce is just so, I don't even want to think about this anymore. Was making Lotion Man as big of a mistake as I think it was? Any advice on getting him back home? Thanks Reddit. Also any cute subreddit suggestions would be appreciated since it's my first time on Reddit and I want to distract myself. Update. Hey Reddit, again. I posted here earlier about how my husband left after I told him a dumb joke. You can find it here. I followed the advice I got and kept my distance. You all had me really pondering about how much of my relationship was the butterflies and kittens I thought it was. I still firmly believe that everything was absolutely perfect before it happened, but oh well, I have my opinions, so you guys were right about some things and wrong about some things. For those of you saying that the lotion thing had nothing to do with it, you were kinda wrong. But for the people who said something happened during the lunch outing, you were right on the money. My husband came back the other day. He apologized and said he was ready to talk to me. I obliged. I tried my best not to be all over him, but quite frankly, I missed this man so damn much. He's my husband after all. He told me the following. I mentioned previously that we went out with our two newlywed friends Kai, 30M, and Marie, 29F. We did have some quality time with all four of us, but often one or more people were missing from the table, considering it was a fusion buffet and the food was amazing. Apparently, at some point, my husband and Marie grabbed some food together. Or maybe before we left, since I know I was talking to just Kai for a while before they appeared and we got to the car. Whatever it was, they were alone together. Marie, the fiancée, told my husband that when Kai proposed, she realized she was in love with him. My husband, though she accepted Kai's proposal and tried to put her feelings to rest by organizing a lunch out. Though apparently she was charmed or some bullshit because she asked him to run away with her or something. I don't know, but she wanted him to leave me and be with her. Now, Marie is honestly gorgeous, which I hate to say because I'm so pissed off with her. She's the typical blonde blue-eyed skinny pageant girl who looks kind of like Emma Watson. I'm not. My husband gently turned her down and wished her all the best. But he says he had her on her mind for a while. We were all college friends, so we know one another very well, and when I showed him Lotion Man, it all essentially exploded inside him. I had a hair towel and some shitty old clothes on and I was giggling over a stupid thing, and apparently my immaturity ticked him off over however the hell Marie was. He got sudden cold feet about our relationship and left for his brother's place. He eventually came back and said he'd loved me all over again. I was frozen in shock and asked some questions before asking him to sleep on the couch at least for that night. He did, and it didn't really help me sleep. I can't believe it, honestly, that he was considering shitting away all of our relationship for a crush. The more I think about it, the less I can look him in the eye. We went to Thanksgiving lunch together with some of his family plus some close friends, and we spent last night together, so I think he thinks he's in the clear. I can't lie and say I'm not considering just forgiving and forgetting though. He comes home from work about 6 hours from now and I don't know what to do next. I have off today, I'm a teacher, and so I'm considering either A, contacting Kai and telling him about what his fiancée is up to. My husband begged me not to as Marie was apparently making a spontaneous mistake. B, contacting Marie and chewing her out for trying to fuck up my relationship or having a civil conversation, less tempting but it's whatever. C, contacting Tyler, his brother, and asking if he left the house at some point. Tyler's house is very close to Marie's place and I'm very worried about that, though I doubt I'll get anything out of him. D, all of the above. Update. Hey Reddit. First of all, I'd like to thank you so much for the overwhelming support and sweet messages. I honestly was not expecting this. A lot of you guys also took the time to message me and I had a lot of great conversations with fellow Redditors. I'm honestly so flattered by how freaking sweet so many of you guys are. I wish I could have replied to every single one of your comments. I upvoted every one of them though. I think my post got deleted. Some of you asked for pictures of Lotion Man, yet I can't quite find the feature to upload photos on here, but I will as soon as I can. A lot of you had some really interesting theories, lol. And surprisingly, most of them were somewhat right. Majority ruled that I should do all three, confront Kai, Marie, husband and Tyler, not necessarily in that order, and so I had to get smart with it since a lot of you guys told me that any one of them could twist the story had they known there was outside influence. Before I begin, yes, the full story is wacky and honestly doesn't make that much sense. I'm honestly just piecing it together via context clues and I do have some questions left unanswered. Plus nobody who is relaying this story is in a good headspace and to you, it might just seem like a ton of garbled nonsense. I'm just hoping it gets across since I know a lot of people wanted closure on this. When my husband came home we had a conversation. He essentially said the same story and he told me he was open to my marriage counseling suggestion. I gave him a big hug and did the laundry. Usually we split the laundry plus I had been giving him a light cold shoulder, so I indirectly forgave him, in his eyes at least. We haven't really set boundaries with our phones, like we know each other's passwords and everything, but he would definitely get suspicious if I was just scrolling around on it. So instead, I agreed to meet up with Kai first. A lot of you guys were concerned that he would tell Marie and everything would implode, but Kai is a big gym nut and I've been wanting to go recently, so I said it as casually as possible, using it as an excuse. He agreed. The next morning, I met with Kai. I sat down with him and told him all I know. Yes, I cried like a baby. Originally, Kai was rigid and tried to, kindly, poke holes in what I was saying with a few gotcha questions before he, too, broke down. Marie didn't tell him a word. That was a big red flag on its own. I then went to Marie with Kai. A few Redditors told me to be as discreet as possible, and so, as a suggestion said, I just blurted to her that I know everything. She played dumb at first and then eventually broke. You all were right. Marie trying to settle her crush was a bullshit story. My husband was the one who approached her. She told me that he asked her if, before she sealed it with Kai, if she wanted to have a night with him and another woman. Here's the kicker: Marie said yes. But wait, I hate to say it, but that's not all. Apparently Marie has been cheating on Kai for a while, with men and women. And my husband has also been cheating frequently. They covered for each other, and occasionally met up. At the last moment, she declined because she wanted to be loyal to Kai now that they were engaged, as if she wasn't cheating for the majority of the relationship, and he, husband, got all pissed off for a while before saying he's just locked in his apartment now. Cue me showing him Lotion Man. He snaps and gets out of there. Kai and Marie are both arguing, in tears, and red at the face. I told them sorry that I butted into their relationship, and that I'll handle my husband myself. I found Tyler before the sun set. He told me yes, his brother stopped by, but only around 11 p.m. He left at around 8. So those 3 hours went fuck all. Tyler told me that he was angry and didn't tell him anything. I then tell him some context, just the Lotion Man, and he says that maybe he was driving around for a while. It doesn't sound like my husband to drive as relief, but I'm willing to look into it, since the future was already looking pretty fucking bleak. I went home. I googled something on my husband's phone. Instead, I was just checking if any of them had contacted him. Nothing, thankfully. I would have gone into more depth, but that would have to wait. Instead, I tried to keep him busy for the duration of the day. Remember how I said he sleeps really early? Well, that worked in my favor. Took his phone that night while he was snoring his ass off. Ran into a million dead ends. I knew I was missing something, but I just couldn't find it. Finally, I opened his hidden photos. Kaboom! His story explodes to pieces. What did I find? Nudes. Nudes. More nudes. Even more nudes. All of one girl. Not me, shocker. But not Marie either. I don't recognize her. Let's call her Allison, considering Allison was my second-grade best friend who was actually a snake. They're not the same person. Just so I can call her something when I refer to her in the story, because I don't actually know her name. She's absolutely gorgeous. Red hair, hourglass figure, you name it. I'm obviously broken. I traced her back to a contact. I feel sick. There it is, an affair. He's been contacting her since February, days before I surprised him with a Valentine's thing that I had been using up my paychecks for and thinking I was the luckiest woman alive. It fucking sucks. I can't even read more. But I tough through it. Then, I hit it. November 3rd, 2 days after the last nude. She's pissed off. She found out he was married all along. She was in love with him. I would feel bad for her, but she didn't even bother trying to contact me out of love. Ergo, hubby has a genius idea. He told Allison that he'll bring his wife over in a hotel to show that his wife doesn't care about the affair. Sound familiar? So I assume when Marie canceled, there was nothing he could do. He became whiny and begged her to come. He told Allison that there was an inconvenience and they'd meet up another day. Then the lotion man. He got pissed off at me and left. I don't know what he did after that, but whatever it was, he wasn't with either of them. Then he went to Tyler's place, slept it off, and came back afterward. I'll spare you the details. But I couldn't even pretend to like him anymore after I found that out. I brought Kai and Marie over the next morning. He started fucking blubbering and tried to deny it all before eventually admitting he was into redheads. Marie is actually strawberry blonde. Allison is very ginger, and it was the one desire of his I couldn't fulfill. Even I could see past his bullshit saying that he loved only me, and that being with Allison/Marie only made him love me more. I just said fuck it and packed my stuff. He got more desperate, but even I, the girl who was honestly infatuated with him, knew it was over. He technically owns the apartment, so I had to leave. Now, I'm staying with Kai. He's as hurt as I am. I feel for him too, his wife was his world. We were hugging and crying for a while, ranting about God knows what, just trying to get ourselves together tbh. He tried to lighten the mood by making lunch and it was really nice, he's a wonderful cook. I showed him the other 2 posts and he got a kick out of some of your comments, haha. As far as I know, my soon-to-be ex-husband is with Marie for now. I don't care about either of them, and honestly, it's kind of therapeutic just having some kind of closure and not walking on eggshells like I have been for the past few days. Kai and I are going to the gym tomorrow to do some relaxing yoga and hopefully figure out what to do next. We've both taken off from work. I'm sorting out my finances and hopefully I should get the ball rolling to finally, legally, split from my husband and be able to call him my ex. I'm still so frazzled. I have at least half a dozen pictures of him and me on my desk, and our wedding picture is my lock screen on pretty much all of my devices. I know my students will notice his sudden disappearance from my life, and I'll have to tell them that the guy I've been raving about for the past forever is divorcing me. I'll have to tell all my family and friends. Kai is my rock in this whole thing and will eventually have to part ways, which hurts me because he's honestly my #1 support system in all of this. Living arrangements, actual divorce costs, law stuff, yuck, therapy, sigh. I still have a lot to go through. I can't believe I thought the relationship was perfect. It's really therapeutic to just write this all down, but Reddit, thank you so much. I've already talked about how much support I received, but honestly, some of your guys' honesty and compliments have, for lack of better emphasis, honestly saved my life. I would have been with cheating scum and Kai would have been, too. This place is so awesome and there's so much to be seen here, so many nice people checking in on me and wanting to keep up with my story. I'll be coming back for more advice someday, though just know I've seen all, yes, all, of your sweet words, and I'll continue lurking around for a long time. But this should be my final update for now. Thank you again Reddit, from me, and Kai. TLDR, husband left me alone after I told him a stupid joke. He blames it on needing to think about things after our mutual friend Marie asks him out. Turns out he was the one who asked Marie out, for a threesome. He has an affair partner, Allison, who fell in love with him and found out he's married, and he wanted Marie to pose as me to show that his wife is cool with it so he can keep Allison. Marie accepts, but then declines at the last moment, pissing him off. He has a redhead fetish he never bothered telling me about and therefore cheats to fulfill it. I'm looking into divorce and staying with Marie's ex-fiancé, Kai. Yes, I don't understand it much either, and I don't know how this all went on under my nose. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, there are a lot of interesting stories ahead of you.